Okay, just a couple of things I sort of forgot to actually mention. The whole idea around this bait, I wanted to make something, believe it or not, that when we all make bait, the first thing everyone who wants to make bait is make cheap bait. So with this, the whole idea is to only use a few boilies, so there won't be a lot going in, just a small amount. But go in the opposite end to everybody else. So I don't want anything that's got soya flour in, no semolina, no maize. It'll be all high quality ingredients, small amount of bait. So when I'm going, I'll probably use an handful of boilies. Every time I visit the lake, sprinkle a bit in, just a little and often when I go, but a higher quality. So completely other end of what everyone else is going to be doing. So I want something that no one else is going to be putting in the lake. But a couple of ingredients I also forgot to sort of mention just earlier. Kelp. Obviously, we all know what kelp looks like, I would have thought, but kelp. And then also, I'm going to actually sprinkle, believe it or not, some mixed herbs within it. And there'll be no colouring within the bait. It'll be whatever colour it comes out with. And we go from there. Now, what I've actually done here, I've just done a bit of a doodle. This is a rough doodle. I don't know if you can see there. I've basically gone on about 1 kilo of powder. So all these ingredients down this side are roughly what I'm going to chuck in a bag, shake all up and just see how it rolls and how it works. And then this bit here is the protein content approximately per item. There's a couple I've not actually worked out yet, but it works out to me about 55% protein. So again, there's no soya in there, there's no semolina. It's all milk, fish, egg and whey proteins with hemp proteins, and then you've got obviously your wheat germs and hemp and a bit of seed in there and everything. So it'll be interesting. I'll probably put a bit of egg to it in a minute and it probably don't even roll. But I haven't even done it, so we'll see how we get on one there. So we're back in a minute when I crack some eggs. Okay, I've had a bit of a play about what I think I'm going to be doing. I've chucked some bits already in the bowl. Would help if you press record when you're actually talking. Anyway, some bits are already in the bowl. So we go back over where I thought I'd already recorded. So I've decided to do 4 eggs, 10 ml of hemp oil, 10 ml of Worcester sauce, 2.5 ml of squid flavour, 5 ml of tiger nut flavour, 5 ml of amino acid liquid, the nectar amino acid, and 4 drops of geranium oil and 4 drops of black pepper. Now the reason I've gone that combination, those oils, essential oils are fantastic. I've done a lot in past years with those. Geranium oil I've done very, very well. Now Ken Townsley did a very good survey on oils over the years. You can see it, I think it's on the 8th site if you want to watch them. And his best combination he felt was geranium oil with black pepper. So I thought, okay, we'll go with that combination, as I've done well with the individually ones. So I thought, well, okay, we'll go with that, but only small drops. So just 4 drops we're going to go. Now, if we find it's a bit too potent when I'm putting it together, I'll put a bit more egg and a bit more powder. So this is just for me, for my fishing, just for my ideas, well, when I get fishing. So basically, I've already put some bits in the bowl already. So in here at the moment, we're up to, I put the squid in, so a capful, which is 10 ml. So I've gone the 10 ml. So I put the hemp in, oil in, I've put the Worcester sauce, I've already put the squid in. I've just got to put the caps. 2.5 ml is a capful. You can use a syringe, which obviously I would normally do. So I need 2 of these to make 5 ml. So that's 5 ml. Now I use this cap for the amino liquid. I need 5, so that's 2 of those. 1. Now the amino acid liquid, I'll probably use some of this on the outside of the bait later on. So then we're going black pepper oil, just 4 drops. So all we're needing. You can go higher levels of that obviously if you're going to use normally, but I just want a little. And geranium oil, it decides to come out. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. I think we've got them. Just check. Black pepper, yeah. Geranium, amino, yeah. We've gone through all them. I've put all them in. So I'm just going to whisk them up. You can use a fork. I like to use a whisk. Don't want it too frothy though. Just don't use it. That's enough. You don't want it to become too frothy. Now, scale wise, I think we'll probably end up using about 500 grams of powder. Now, I've mixed all the ingredients in a bag that we touched on, which I showed you earlier. This is how it's come out, that you can see from there. And I've sieved it. I always go through a fine sieve, make sure everything's all broke up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to weigh out about 500 grams of this. I would have thought we're going to be somewhere around about there when it decides to go on to 0. These scales weigh down to 0.1 of a gram. Good set of scales. So I weigh up about 500 ml. I want to make sure I know how much I've actually used. It's always important to actually write everything down, because when you're going to do bigger amounts, you just times it out. So nearly there. I'll start off with 500 in this bowl and we'll add. There we go, 500.3 grams. So we'll take a little bit out so we know we've got exactly 500 in here. This is about what I've just took out. So we've got 500 there. So I'm going to do this by hand. I'll normally would, once we've got everything right, I'll mix it in the Hobart, but just to play about with, we'll just add a bit at a time so we know roughly where we are. We might end up using nearly all of this, but I just want a darkish bait. No colouring in it, nothing at all. Obviously there should be bits of seeds and bits and pieces, and we might even be able to adjust some of the quantities. I think most of this will go in, looking at how it's mixing. But the chances of getting it spot on right first go, yeah, I think most of this is going to go in, I think. I don't like using a fork, it's too blooming noisy. Now a lot of the ingredients we've used in here are human grade, really, so I mean should be a nice taste. You get to a point where, especially if you're doing it like we're doing here, I think we'll end up putting the hands in. So that's full 500 grams in there. So let's get the hands in, see what it's going like. colour wise it looks like we're going to end up with a fish mealy sort of greeny brown colour. I didn't want to go, I've used a lot of robin red over the years and spices, but the Laker fish, I do know it's done really well on that. I didn't want to do the same as other people are using and have used. So I just want something completely away. This feels as if it might be a little bit wet. We're not far away. It's getting something like, probably slightly sticky. That's what we end up with. I think we'll just add a very small amount more powder. We better put tops on these flavours before I knock them all over the way at top, which would be a bit of a disaster. So I'll put a very small amount of more powder to it. I'm going to probably add to that. You don't want it coming off hands. It's not far away. It's a little bit sticky. If I left it for a little bit while, I'll probably put another 20 grams, I think. I'll just try 20. And that, like I say, write things down. So at the moment we've had 520 grams. I mean, 4 eggs, I even weighed the eggs. 4 eggs, most eggs are about 50 grams, so it was actually 208 grams, I think it was, of liquid egg. And I've not put any preservative in this. This will be a freezer bait. I don't think it'll make a blind bit of difference with a preserve, but I'm going freezer bait this, and I'll get them out as I need them, or make them the day before I want to take some. But, right, so I think we're not far off about there with that. That feels quite. So if I write down there for 4 eggs, we'll probably go for about 520 grams of the base mix. I don't think we've gone overboard with anything at all. It's very subtle. Best test. If I suddenly fall over in a minute, it was overboard. Tell you what, that's quite nice. Very nice, actually. Yeah, I think we're about there with that. So I'll write that down, 520 of the powder. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to clean the gun out. I'll put that in the gun and we'll give it a roll, see if it works. Back shortly.